I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm Tom, and it's Tuesday, February 8th, 2011, and with me today is Ashley over at the news desk. We have news from around the country just ahead in our daily segment of The Rundown, as well as what's happening around Oakcrest. If you ever miss our show or want to catch up on the rest of today's show and other web-exclusive content, visit our website, which is at the bottom of the screen. Also, you can follow our Twitter feed, OHS Falcon TV, to see what's happening around Oakcrest and the rest of the world. Alright, let's head over to Ashley and take a look at other stories that are making headlines in today's rundown.
Our focus is on sports, where in football, the Green Bay Packers took the Super Bowl title on Sunday night in front of an audience of 100,000. And in baseball, New York Yankees legend Andy Pettitte retired from baseball after a great final season as starter. In our second story today we look at technology where Google will be bringing the Android application to the internet to give users a new, faster web experience. And finally, in business, the price of oil rose again this week to over $103 a barrel and continuing to increase the national average price of gas to over $3.10. That was your rundown for today. I'll be back in just a moment for more on those stories and some weird and wacky news.
Thanks, Ash. Now, before we go deeper in those headlines and other news from around Oakcrest and the rest of the country, make sure you head over to Falcon TV's website for the link to download the brand new edition of Sports Talk with Kevin Winstead when you visit our website this week for Sports Talk and insight into the sports world. Also, Oakcrest Media is still selling Falcon Pride wristbands. They're still only $2 and they say "We bleed blue and gray." You can get one by stopping down the media studio or by seeing a member of the media classes or media club. Alright, let's head over to Ashley to get the details on those stories from the beginning of the show.
Thanks, Tom. In national news, one New York sports hero called its quits on Friday and has now left quite a predicament. Andy Pettitte went ahead with his decision to retire, leaving the New York Yankees with two huge holes in what appears to be a rather wobbly starting rotation. The team scheduled a Friday morning news conference at Yankee Stadium where Pettitte announced it had been leaning toward making since the end of last season. A five-time World Series champion, Pettitte became the third winningest pitcher in team history. In tech news, the just-launched Android web store lets you find, purchase, and remotely install new Android apps onto your device, and all straight from a browser. Also, Google demonstrates some of the new bells and whistles in Honeycomb. The upcoming tablet version of Android, the online market looks a bit like a pared-down version of Apple's App Store on iTunes, complete with jumbo-sized promos and a bunch of user reviews. The app will also support 3D technology and could also make its first appearance on the T-Mobile network. And finally, in business, if you're wondering why gas prices continue to climb in the non-driving season, you have a few things to thank, including the crisis in the Middle East. World oil prices held above $102 on Friday, with the market under persistent pressure from the ongoing political crisis in Egypt. Crude oil rose 43 cents to $102.67 per barrel in one day after striking $103.37. the highest level since September 26, 2008. Oil spiked back above $100 this week, rocked by violent protests in Egypt. They have raised serious concerns about the security of energy supplies traveling through the Suez Canal to the west. That was your national news for today. Let's take a look at what's happening around Oakcrest.
Eventful pep rally last Friday, the spirit continues this week with a bunch of games throughout the week. But before the game, there are a few meetings this week. On Wednesday, February 9th, there will be a meeting for all those interested in participating in girls' spring track. Also, this week, the groups from Teen Center will be meeting as well as French Club and lacrosse. Football fans, even though the Super Bowl is over, it doesn't mean you still can't enjoy watching the game on your TV. Stop down to the media studio and order your own copy of the Oakcrest Falcon 2010 football season documentary. The film features highlights and in-depth interviews from players and coaches looking back on the 2010 season. Fill out an order form or see Kevin Winstead, the director and producer of the film, to get your copy of the DVD, recapping all the great moments from this season with a closer look at his film. Here's Ashley Force with more on the story.
Do you remember our 2010 Oakcrest football season? Do you remember all those amazing touchdowns we scored? Do you remember the spirit section cheering at the top of their lungs for our boys? Thanks to our very own Kevin Winstead, we have the tape and footage all on a video that you can purchase from him. We're here with Kevin to talk about more details. So Kevin, what is it about, and how did it come about?
It's just basically a documentary of our season, just other things that we accomplished. This season being as historic as it was the first state championship team in history, first team to reach the playoffs in a long time. So me and my teammate Ishmael Shoa, we came up with something that would allow the guys to relive these memories over and over as long as we lived. We didn't want it to be something that we only experienced one time. So we put together a documentary of just all the events that took place during the season. You know, for people to, people who played football, just fans, parents, whatever, they can all share in our accomplishments, and it's available $3 for players, $5 for anyone else interested.
Well, thank you very much. That's interesting. This was Ashley Force for Falcon TV News.
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs?
And I kind of just woke up about like an hour ago. Now, I don't know why, but I have this really dumb habit of when I go and look in the fridge for something I want to eat, and I don't find anything, I walk away. Then 5 minutes later, I come back as if something is magically gonna appear there that I want to eat. It's not gonna happen. It never will. It's impossible. Ugh, why is there no food in this house? No.
According to the NFL, some 400 fans with tickets to the big game were denied seats at the Super Bowl Sunday because certain stadium sections weren't ready. Seats were not completely installed in 6 sections, affecting about 1,250 fans. Roughly 850 of those people were relocated to similar or better seats, but 400 were left out. Fans denied seats are expected to get a refund of triple the cost of the face value, $800, of their ticket. They were also allowed in the stadium to watch the game on monitors or standing platforms in each corner of the stadium, the NFL said. But whether that was enough to satisfy upset fans remains to be unseen. That was your Weird and Wacky News. Let's head over back to Tom.
And you can always catch up on anything you missed on today's or past episodes by visiting us back on YouTube and by emailing us your questions at talentproductions@yahoo.com. That was your news for today. I'm Tom, and for Ashley and everyone else here on the Falcon TV News team, thanks for watching today. Wherever you're watching from, we'll see you back here on tomorrow's and more of the Oakcrest and world news that you need on the News at 9 on Falcon TV. Have a great day.